I can witness to the fact that moving forward is not easy because we have to face the unfamiliar and walk by faith. Don't get it twisted, my brothers and sisters. This is just not something you just haphazardly jump up and do. You have to face uncharted territory, and faith now has to have confidence that God is going to do what God says God will do. I must learn to depend on his word, brothers and sisters, and not my worries. This text is clear. The children of Israel started out on a trip that should have taken 11 days, but it took them 40 years. It took them 40 years because they choose to do it their way and not God's way. And if you and I are not careful, we will have more confidence in failure than our ability to succeed. The Lord is trying to position us in a better place. So he tells them that you have been here long enough. Here it is. We constantly find ourselves caught up in cycles, going through the same battles, recovering the same territory, facing the same old challenges, experiencing the same limited breakthroughs, and running from some giants, and you keep saying, here we go again. Now, it's apparent that the plan of God is not being followed when we're going through the same old cycles. And I want to raise the relevant question before I take my seat. What mountain in your life have you been stayed too long? What situation, what circumstance, what crisis that you have developed in your life? And if the truth be told, you will declare, I've really been here too long. And I want to announce here on the verge of 2016 that if you don't do something different, you're going to get the same old results. And I must understand that if I've been here too long, I must understand that it's restful for me to be able to trust God where I can trace God. And God says, you've been at this mountain long enough. You've been working in this context long enough. Your conversation has not changed. You've been doing the same old thing. And it's time that you focus on where I'm taking you and not where you've been. Make no mistake about it. Their life on Mount Horeb, it was an enjoyable life. You got to understand the context of this text. They were fed by the Lord. The Lord ensured that their clothes and their possessions did not wear out. They was resting from their travels. In other words, the Lord was providing for them. He was a cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. You must understand, my brothers and sisters, they were comfortable and they were satisfied in a spot that was not their destination. You must understand, my brothers and sisters, it's a sad commentary when we become comfortable in our excuses that we don't even try to make a better impact for the kingdom of God. For years they lived in peaceful existence. They were there on the Mount of Horeb. Everything that they needed, they had it. Everything the Lord would provide. The Lord would ensure that none of their possessions would wear out. They would call on God, and God would constantly be a shade in the day and a pillar of fire by night. You must understand, this Mount Horeb experience to them was a peaceful experience. And here it is, the Lord appears to them and tell them, Mother White, that it's time to move on. Let me symbolically suggest that moving on is not just when things are not going well. In the context of the text, moving on can be when things are going well, but there has been some complacency in my relationship with God. We are comfortable with not getting involved. We are comfortable in not maximizing our calling. We are comfortable in coming to church on Christmas, Mother's Day, and Easter. We are comfortable with just Sunday morning worship. We are comfortable with just giving a tip. The Lord is reminding us with what he has blessed you and I with, that it's not a time to be complacent. It's not a time to become satisfied, because the believers go from victory, Lord have mercy, to victory. contrary, we go from faith to faith, and when we become complacent and there is no forward spiritual momentum, the Lord says it's time to advance. And you must understand, my brothers and sisters, as believers, we can find ourselves settling into a comfortable existence, enjoying our own Mount Horeb experience. And no matter how enjoyable our time on Mount Horeb may be, there will come a day when the Lord will come to us and cause us to move forward. Mount Horeb is needed, but Mount Horeb is not the place to camp out. That's not your spot. It's not your destination. It's a place where you pass through. And too many of us have decided to settle right where we are. But I have some good news. This is not your last stop. Can I preach a life? Can I prophesy in this house that where you are is not where you're going to be? God is going to move you into a wealthy place. And I want you to know, even though things are going well, I got the house I want, I got the job I want, I got a little money in the bank, but that's not your destination. You got to be careful, my brothers and sisters, that we do not camp out in our comfort zones. I know it's easy to settle into a life of ease. I know it's easy to get caught up with everything is going just fine. But let me somebody suggest it is the will of God to progressively move you into your wealthy place, and you cannot get there standing still or by being satisfied where you are. I thank God for the job, but I'm just not interested in working on the job. I want to own the job. I thank God that I can go to car lots and buy cars, but I don't want to buy a car. I want to own the car lot. I have discovered that there is a danger in any business or ministry who becomes self-satisfied instead of advancing to new levels. People become content with the same status quo, staying within their comfort zone. Make no mistake about it, life was good at Mount Horeb. Everything that they needed, the Lord would provide. And here it is, the Lord shows up and tells them that you are complacent in your walk with me, and it's time for you to move forward. Sunday morning ought not be enough for you. You ought to be a God chaser and chase after him. As the deer panted for the waters, so my soul will longing after thee. I'm not an Old Testament Jew. I just give the tenth. I believe all of it belongs to him. And since the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, I join in concert with the creation and give to the Creator. I stop by to tell my brothers and sisters, we've been blessed tremendously. God has smiled on us. We've got nice homes. We've got nice cars. We're highly educated. We've got nice clothes. And the list goes on. Tell your neighbor, I know he's right. Those things are fine, but God never intended for Christians or the church to stand still. We've got to be moving. We've got to be progressing. We've got to be able to stand and declare the works of God. It's not enough for my generation, but I need to look at generations unborn and see what it is that I'm leaving them their hands to deal with. And I don't know how you feel about it, my brothers and sisters, but God has not caused us to settle. God has not caused us to sit. God has not called us to be squatters. You must understand, we got to be advancing and not camping around the mountain. God says you have dwelt long enough in this mountain. I'm getting ready to get happy because I'm all right when God says what God says. I'm all right with what God says. I know that God is too wise to make a mistake. I know that God knows what God is talking about. And God says you've been here long enough. I can tell you this, if you don't get down in here, you're going to self-destruct your own self. If you don't move in the direction that God wants you to move and then take custody of your spiritual salvation. I ain't talking about leaving Pookie or Ray Ray. I ain't talking about leaving the church. I'm talking about taking custody of your own spiritual development and begin to say, Lord, if I don't know you, I can't taste you, and I can't see how good you've been to me. And this year is going to be a year of commitment in my own spiritual relationship with Christ. I might well tell you, I'm going to drop it like it's hot. I ain't concerned about the next person next to me, but there are some issues in my life. There are some things in my life. There are some places in my life, and they're in yours too. You got to learn, my brothers